finished with Dusty Grooves. Found some good stuff. Show it to you whenever we get back. Good place. Hopefully we'll hit some more here in Chicago. Just wanted to make a little ending video. Okay, so as you can see, that little opening snippet, we did make it to Dusty Groove. We had a great time in Chicago. We did make it to the Beatles Fest. Just got back today, so I'm making this little video. So this is just kind of an introductory video that we made it back. I did get some clips of us doing some digging, some stuff in the museum. I found a way to actually talk about music in the museum, and some stuff from the Beatles or the Beatles Fest. Now let me tell you about the Beatles Fest. The clips that I have. This is not comprehensive stuff of the Beatles Fest. This is not stuff to show you this is what it was like. This is just stuff for my channel. You know, it was just us playing around, just for the channel, for you guys, just to see, you know, we were there. There's a few fun things that we did. I only have I have at least 2 clips of the Beatles Fest. Maybe another one, but I can't remember if I do. I'm going to show you that here. But it's not like I don't have clips of a concert or a talk or anything like that. This isn't something that you would show your friends and say, oh, that's what it's like. It's just us having fun, all right? So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to come back and talk for just a couple seconds. See you in a minute. Okay, man, so I found myself in Dusty Grooves. They're getting ready to close. So we're digging really fast, but I wanted to get some video. They have some amazing stuff. Lots of jazz. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pick up everything that I want. I found this cool section called Out Sound. It's got a lot of like electronic and new age stuff. And I picked up some stuff. And I'll show that later. I got like a Moondog section. So I think I'm going to pick up. Hang on just a second. What is this? You can watch me dig, guys. This is expensive, but it looks amazing. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'll let you be. We're here, we're having fun, we're digging. Tomorrow's the Beatles Fest. Not sure what this is. I may get it, I may not. Catch you guys later. Okay, we're at the Beatles Fest here. We're right in the middle of the Beatles parade. Go ahead and get a shot of that. People dressed like Sgt. Pepper's and the Beatles, and there's balloons and singing and all kinds of music and drum circles and all kinds of crazy things going on. This is really the place to be right now if you've never been to a Beatles Fest. And I did see down this hallway that they've got the Beatles store, and I know there's some records. So we're going to see what we can find out, man. Do some great digging. I've seen stuff from a couple of $1,000 to just a couple of dollars. And I'm going to pick up some stuff. I can't afford a couple of thousand, but I can afford a couple of bucks. So we'll see you here in just a second. Hello, Space Cadets. Welcome to Beatles Fest. We're actually having a bed-in today. They have these beds set up, so it's a bed-in for peace. And we got no nukes. We have a freshly painted sign here. Do not kill the trees.
No, that's actually supposed to be a bomb.
Oh,
that's
a nuclear bomb. Do not, no nukes. So we're just chilling out. We have a sign, war is over. You can get that. So what I want to show you real quick is just, what we picked up. And so I'm not going to do this from the record room here at the house. So real quick. We did get a chance to go to Dusty Grooves here in Chicago, and it was real quick when we got there. The day was almost over. We only had like a half a minute to dig, so I picked up some stuff. Got Moondog. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with Moondog. I think this is like 1958, 1959. So picked this up, and I'm going. This is good experimental music from the late 50s. Of course, Moondog is real popular in the 60s, 1969, throughout the 70s. We have some new age music that we picked up as well. Steve Halpern, Spectral Suite. This has been on my want list for quite a long time. I found it for a really good price. We got like an experimental jazz artist, Mark DeClive Lowe. It's called The Church. Very good if you like that like experimental jazz, kind of a psychedelic space rock jazz. The only problem is with this album, it's got some rap in it. So if you're not into rap, there's like 3 or 4 songs that has some rap in it. It's alright, I don't know. So as far as the Beatles Fest goes, this thing has been amazing. If you've never gotten to go to one, this is one in Chicago. I know they have one in New York, but this is Beatles Fest Chicago. And there's been plenty of stuff to find here as far as records go. Some of it's very expensive. You know, they've actually had butcher's covers that I found for $4,000 to $5,000. I mean, really expensive. But then you can find stuff on the low end. And here's what I found. I did find one Beatles-related stuff that was affordable. The Blue Album, 67 through 70, $25 for this. Not bad. I did have one vendor that I was going to try to buy it from, but he just wouldn't give me a price. He was trying to sell it too much, straight upsell. So I don't know. Maybe he was going to try to get $100 for it. I had this as a teenager. Good stuff. And then some David Bowie. I mean, really affordable Bowie stuff that I found. Launcher for $12. Station to Station for $15. And these are, I think they're represses, but they're not too far out. You know, they're like still, I think this was an 80 repress, so we're not too far out from 79. Anyway, I just wanted to, you know, spread some peace and love real quick from the bedhead here at the Beatles Fest. And if you never got a chance to go, I would go. I mean, the music, the guests, the concert last night was amazing. They had all the members of Wings, except for Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney. They weren't here. They jammed all night. They had a band called Liverpool. They had Mark Hudson, he was a member of the Hudson Brothers, and he was a producer. He produced stuff for Aerosmith, Ozzy Osbourne. He's amazing. That's all I have. We'll catch you next time. Keep spinning those records, and we'll catch you on the flip side. So what did you think? It was kind of fun, right? You know, that's what it's about. You know, I mean, I like my channel. Sometimes I get serious, but sometimes, you know, you just gotta have fun. So yes, we did. Let's talk about the record shop first. So we went to Dusty Groove. Before we left, today's Sunday. I left on Wednesday night. A couple days before I left, I got on the Facebook groups, some of the vinyl groups that I'm in, and I said, I'm going to Chi-Town, Chicago. What vinyl shop should I hit? And everybody was saying, go to Dusty Groove. So I did. I mean, there were other ones, Permanent Records, Reckless Records, but there was a couple for Dusty Groove. And we were out Friday night. I was out with my friends. I call them Uncle Don and Aunt Marilyn. I've known them since I was about this high. And I was telling them about it. They're record collectors themselves, and they said, well, let's go. You know, let's take you. So they took me. Me and my family was with. And Friday night we found ourselves about maybe half hour before it closed, but we did get in there shopping. And it's a great record store. It's small, but it doesn't matter because a lot of the fluff, a lot of the crappy records that you come across, Anne Murray and all that stuff, they don't have that. I don't know. I'm sure that comes into the store, people try to sell it. I don't know what they do with it, but it's not in there. All the good stuff, you know, like the Alice Coltrane, the good Miles Davis albums, good fusion that you hadn't heard of, genres I hadn't heard of, but are just really good stuff that was in there. And the prices were very fair. So when I'm used to paying maybe $30 for a record at my local record store, $20 to $22 over here. So it just kind of tells you the comparison. I bought 3 albums there. And let's go over them real quick. I know I showed you this in the video, but I want to be a little bit more comprehensive because I was just having fun this morning when I was doing that. And there were people all around kind of watching and talking and stuff, and I just wanted to hurry up and do that. But this one was Steve Halper and Spectrum Suite. I've had this on my Discogs wish list for about 2 years now. Yes, it is New Age. I don't like New Age, but 70s New Age gets a pass. I like it. It's good stuff. Mark de Clive Lowe. I've listened to some of his stuff on the internet, on YouTube. And I liked it. You know, it's kind of a jazz fusion quality, you know. And besides, you know, really what got me was this album cover. It's just trippy. It's great. So when I saw this sitting there, I was like, well, let me give it a shot. Let me get it. I love this. It's very good. Like I said, it's really heavy jazz fusion with strains of electronics running through it, heavy psych. There's even some space stuff going on. I mean, the music is fantastic. This would be a perfect 10 if it weren't for the vocals. But you know what? I mean, he's an artist. He does what he is going to do. It's not for me. It's his vision. This has some rap in it. I am not a rap person. But there's only maybe 2 or 3 songs with rap. There's, I think, 6 songs total with vocals, and the female vocals aren't that bad out of 13. So more than half the album is good. It's listenable. It's a great album. I would check it out, listen to it before you bought it. But I do recommend this. Just depends on what you like. The other one I bought was Moondog. It's my first Moondog album. I think this one was from the 50s. It's called the Snake Time series by Moondog. And it's everything I thought it would be. Now, weird, experimental, crazy. And he was doing this in the 50s, you know? I mean, this crazy stuff. So I'm a fan now. I know he's long gone and was doing this long before I was born, but I've got to check out more of his stuff. Now, fast forward to yesterday, Beatles Fest. They had a vendor room set up inside the Beatles Fest where all the vendors could sell their wares, right? Books, record CDs, posters, buttons, anything related to the Beatles or the 60s, music. And there were quite a few vendors. You could spend an hour or two in there. And to my surprise and satisfaction, there were quite a few bins of records in there. I would say 65 to 70% were Beatles related, but there was the other 30% that were mostly 60s and 70s stuff. And I mean, the Beatles, they had everything. I mean, there was one thing I was looking for that I didn't see. Most of the stuff that I found was way overpriced. I mean, and you know, the people that are visiting these tables, a lot of them you can tell had money. You know, they're rich retirees, older people, and they were just slapping down the hundreds like crazy. I can't do that. I've got to be more careful. So, yes, I did see a nice copy of the wedding album, John and Yoko. They wanted too much. The Butcher cover, thousands of dollars for this. Was it worth? I don't know, what it was worth, but I couldn't afford it. I had to be very careful with what I spent. But so I did buy one Beatles-related album. And it was this one. It was $25. I had it when I was a teenager. I have a lot of Beatles albums. I got to show you one of these days. But I had this as a teenager. I don't know what happened to it. I had it from about the age of 12 to 20. Listened to it all the time on vinyl because I didn't have a CD player at the time, so it was just like this, near and dear to my heart, so I had to pick it up because I did want to buy something Beatles related there. And then somebody had some Bowie albums. They had just got a big cache of Bowie records. So we had Lodger and Station to Station. Now, like I mentioned, I was trying to... I only had so much. And I didn't... I wanted a couple more Bowie records, but I didn't know what else was out there, what was going to surprise me. Because there was a couple things I was looking for. I was looking for the Beatles' Love album, which I did find, but they wanted $65 for it. I can get it for about $40. So I didn't even try to talk the guy down. I'm not that kind of. I don't do that. I mean, people do. I do it if you want. I just don't like doing that. I figure if that's what they want for it, I'm just, that's what they want. I'm not going to try to change their mind. And then the other one that I was kind of looking for that I knew I was probably going to have to pay some money for was the Paul McCartney solo project that he had in the 90s and the early 2000s, which was called The Fireman. It was his moniker, The Fireman. And it was a couple of electronic albums. And I was seeing if I could find that on vinyl. If I could find it any place, it was going to be there. And I couldn't find it. So anyway, by the time I got back around to the cache of Bowie records, because they had 3 more that I wanted, Aladdin Sane, Diamond Dogs, and Pin-Up. By the time I got back to that one, the stall had closed. And they had started the concert for the evening. They had a big concert in the ballroom. So I figured, well, I'll just come back in the morning and pick them up. The problem is that you need a wristband. So this wristband here was for Saturday. I didn't buy a ticket for Sunday, which is today. And I couldn't, the vendor store was beyond the checkpoint. And since I did not have a wristband for today, I could not get back in to buy the records. So, I mean, what's the worst I'm going to do? Spend money? But, the security guards were doing their jobs. I tried. They were doing their jobs. I mean, there was no hassle. It was just like, can I go in and go to the store? No, without a wristband. So it's cool. But I'll get another chance for some cheap Bowie records. So that's what I got. The whole trip I got 6 records. Very happy, had a great time. Been a while since I had a vacation. And I'm kind of glad that I could show you some of it. So that's it. So hopefully maybe next week we'll have something else. You guys be cool, keep spinning, and we will catch you on the flip side.